I practice expressing my thoughts as much as possible, and I try to do this whenever I could.
Tell about your interviews.
Right. I remember being really nervous for my interviews. I interviewed at Modern College, but I had 2 interviews, and I had 2 more interviews. One at Modern College and one at St. Jude's, which is where I am right now. And during these 4 interviews, I saw many interesting questions. One really interesting question I saw was a question about cube, the number of faces a cube has, and 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, and even higher dimensions. And it didn't stop there. We also discussed how many edges there are in this dimension, and we tried to find a formula for each one of these. I thought it was quite interesting. There were also very hard questions. One particular question I remember is I was asked to sketch the normal distribution, which was like bell curve, and I was asked to sketch its derivative by I and its derivative as well. So 2 derivatives. And that was easy enough. You just sketch it, and then he asked me, do I notice anything about the number of turning points and the number of reads as we go down? And then I noticed actually that as the differentiate each time, the number of reads and the number of turning points increased by 1. And then the question was given to me, can you prove that formula is true? And that was really difficult. I was really stumped at the beginning, and actually I didn't know what to say. But luckily for me, the interviewer, he gave me a prompt. He gave me a hint about some theorem that is really useful for this. And I immediately managed to use this theorem. And then go on to answer the question. That I was really scared at first, but really rewarding at the end. Actually didn't get anything but my personal statement in the interview, which I thought it wasn't too strong. I suppose they thought it wasn't really interesting at the interviews. Which aspects appealed the most to the tutors?
I think that interviewers really to see me struggle to the question, because they want to see how I think. They want to see the pressure in which I go about the question, and so they would really like giving me a difficult question, so that I do struggle with it, and they would often give me hints to see if I can cooperate with them, if I do to attend the university. And to prepare for the interviews, I kept that in mind. I practiced expressing my thought as much as possible. I did this by speaking out loud when I'm by myself answering a math question. I tried to do this whenever I could.
Oxford Mathematics interview preparation.
Well, I've mentioned that I tried to speak my talk as much as possible. Rather than that, I was really keen on solving maths BMO questions, British Math Olympiad questions. I feel like that helped out a lot my problem solving skills. It gave me a good intuition on how to solve questions. And I think it made me a better problem solver all around. I did mock interview with my teacher. They were quite kind enough to do the session with me, and they emphasized that I should be speaking my thought out as much as possible. Even when I was struggling to come up with an answer, they encouraged me time and time again to try to give a suggestion as how to solve the problem. For example, maybe we can solve this by induction, even though you are not sure how. You do that, and so on. So I did these things quite often. I did it about 2 times a week with my teachers, these mock interviews. And these other things I've mentioned, I try to keep them on getting in the background as I prepare for my interviews.